Hey everyone, let's get started. First of all, a big hello to all my wonderful viewers. Over the past little while, I've been getting some surprising questions from you in the comment box. A lot of you have been sharing something with me, and it seems like many of you are feeling this way. You're constantly tired, day after day. It's not a big enough issue to be considered an illness, but it's like you're always running low on energy. The feeling isn't quite bad enough to be considered a medical condition, but it's like you're constantly running on low energy. Your mood just feels off, and your energy levels dip significantly. Can you relate to that? Do you feel tired all the time? No matter what. It's not just physical exhaustion, but mental fatigue as well. It's like your whole energy is just drained. So, in today's video, I want to share my personal experience with you and talk about how to break free from this constant tiredness. This feeling seems to stick around every single day. I can totally relate because I've been there myself. So, why wait? Let's dive right into it. Hi again, everyone. In this part of the video, I'm going to share my own personal experience to help you break free from that constant low energy state. I know how exhausting it can be to feel tired all the time, inside and out. So, here's the thing, I want us to approach this problem from a principles-based angle. What I mean is that we're going to look at one tip, but it's something you can apply to many areas of your life, even 1,000 little problems that pop up every day. With this one tip, not only will you be able to recharge your energy, but you can also use it to boost other parts of your life, like your health, your happiness, your sense of achievement. Basically, it'll help in a lot of ways. So, make sure to pay close attention here. This is the heart of what I want to share with you, and it ties directly into the name of my channel, Devotional Lessons. Devotional Lessons. So, alright, let's get back to the main part of this video. What are the principles or key ideas that can help us deal with regular tiredness and low energy? Well, first, you need to understand that feeling tired all the time and low on energy doesn't just happen for no reason. It can lead to some bigger consequences down the road. And if you think about it, a lot of the consequences we face in life come from ignorance. This is really important, guys. Please remember, consequences often come from ignoring things. It's very likely that somewhere along the way, you've let something slip, and that's what's been causing these issues of tiredness and low energy. Honestly, this is a simple truth, a principle of life, guys. There's really no debate about it. And do you know that ignoring things often leads to hidden problems? For example, many people unknowingly neglect things in their lives without even realizing it. And that can be pretty dangerous. The problem is, without realizing what's being neglected, you won't know how to fix it. And I'm sure some of you have a sense that you're leaving something behind, but you might not know exactly what it is. So, stick with me for a bit, because I'm going to walk you through what you might be ignoring and why that can be dangerous. The first danger is that if we keep ignoring things, the problem just keeps growing. The more we push things aside, the more likely we are to hit that black iceberg, which, in this case, means we end up with even more exhaustion, negativity, and lower energy. When you reach this point, it can really spiral into a bad situation, and I'm sure none of us want that. But in reality, most people end up caught in this trap. It's where we start getting pulled down more and more in terms of our energy, mental health, motivation, vitality, and overall well-being. It brings us to a point where, if we fall into it, we lose the strength, the drive, and the will to get back up. We just stay stuck there. Don't let that happen, folks, because once you're in that place, it's so much harder to get out. So, neglecting things in our life? It's really dangerous, extremely dangerous. The consequences? They come from neglect. Keep that in mind. It's a simple concept, but one that's really important when we think about our lives. Now's the time to be real with each other. Let's be honest, are you neglecting something in your life? So, the result of all this neglect is that you feel tired every day, drained of energy. It's not random, everything has a cause. And often, that cause is neglect. Did you skip your sleep? Did you skip your rest? How many of you actually take time to rest, or even have a day where you truly unwind? Maybe when you think you're resting, you're actually just scrolling on your phone, with your mind still buzzing. Are you neglecting the joys in your life? Are you just going through the motions, living without really enjoying anything? Or maybe you're skipping exercise, How long has it been since you've been active? Are you neglecting your stress? Maybe you're stressed out every single day, but you just push it aside, not really dealing with it. Over time, that can make you feel more and more negative, even depressed. Do you neglect drinking enough water? Or maybe you're ignoring the need for good, positive information. How much negativity do you absorb every day, like all that bad news? Did you know that constantly reading negative stuff can actually trigger harmful hormones and chemicals in your body? And what about your personal happiness? Are you stuck doing things you don't enjoy, day after day, just getting by without really living? Maybe you're stuck in a job you really don't enjoy, doing it every day without feeling fulfilled. Have you been neglecting that for too long? And what about your eating habits? Are you really paying attention to what you eat? Be honest with yourself. Do you eat enough vegetables? How many? The truth is, neglecting these things can build up over time, and we end up feeling the consequences of it. I'm really sorry if I've highlighted a lot of things that you might feel guilty about neglecting, but sometimes we need to face the fact that we've been neglecting a lot in our lives. So, what do we do to get back on track? I know this can feel overwhelming. After all, I've listed a lot of things you might have been neglecting. And it seems impossible to tackle them all at once, right? It can feel like it's just too much to handle. I know it can feel overwhelming, and many people end up giving up because trying to fix everything at once feels like you're solving nothing at all. It's like trying to catch two rabbits at once, both will just run away. It's tough, right? But don't worry, there's always a way forward. In the next part, I'll show you how to regain control of your life. The key here is remembering that you need to take control. If you don't, it's like giving permission for all that neglect to grow even bigger. As neglect grows, so do the consequences. And the longer we ignore things, the bigger the price we end up paying down the road. Just think about the people who end up with long-term health problems because they ignored the signs for too long. It's a sobering thought, but it's also a reminder that taking back control of our lives is so important. It's worth making that effort before the consequences get too big to handle. Now, let's talk about the solution. I want to help you see it through a simple rule-based perspective. As we discussed earlier, the cause of all this is neglect. Consequences come from neglect. But here's the good news: accomplishment comes from care. That's the key. Remember this: neglect leads to consequences, and care leads to accomplishment. It's that simple. Always keep this in mind. From my own experience, one of the habits that has truly transformed my life from feeling stuck to where I am now is having a daily list of tasks. These are non-negotiable actions I make sure to do every day. Why? Because I understand this simple truth: accomplishment comes from care. I always make sure to have at least 3 to 5 things on my list each day. If I don't stay consistent with this, I end up neglecting everything. But when I put care into the things that matter, I get results. If I don't care, I'm being neglectful, and that always leads to consequences. So, if you want to stop feeling tired all the time, if you want to shift to a state where you feel energized and excited every day, you need to have at least 3 things on your list that push you towards that goal, and you need to do them every single day. After that, I can promise you one thing: the results will come. The 3 things you choose to do every day can be whatever matters most to you. Seriously, it's about what you value and what you believe will help you. For example, let's say you decide to walk 10,000 steps a day, drink plenty of water, and eat enough vegetables every day. Clean, healthy veggies. Of course, you eat enough greens to get those vitamins and minerals. Now, let me ask you, after just a few months of doing this, do you still feel tired and drained every day? I'm willing to bet you won't. Why? Because accomplishment comes from care. If you stick to just 3 simple things every day, like brushing your teeth, it'll make all the difference. Then, naturally, your life will start to shift into a new phase, and you'll have the freedom to choose more positive things to focus on. It'll lift you up, and little by little, it'll help you break free from neglect. And as time goes on, you might even add a few more things to your list, maybe 4 or 5 things. The key is taking care of what matters, and from there, your life will start to change on its own. Here's another perspective for you. Try getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, and make sure you're going to bed on time and waking up at a set time. Trust me, your health will start to feel a lot better. Then, when you eat, take your time, chew your food properly, and don't rush through meals. That's the second habit. And the third one? Set aside time to read every day. It doesn't have to be a long time, but just make it a part of your routine. Did you know that reading books is actually a great way to relieve stress and tension? When you focus on reading and make it a habit, you'll find that you forget about the outside world. In those moments, there's no room for negativity to sneak into your mind. It's almost like a form of meditation. Of course, this applies more to those who have been reading for a long time and really enjoy it. But just imagine if you made these 3 things a part of your daily routine: getting enough sleep, eating slowly, and chewing your food properly. Reading books, if you commit to doing these things every single day, consistently, you'll see a big shift in your energy and overall well-being. In just 2 to 3 months, if your life hasn't started changing after doing this, I'd be really surprised. Seriously, nourish yourself with these 3 simple habits every day. Stay determined and put in the effort. Even if you get bored sometimes, just think of it as part of the process. It's like eating the same thing over and over. Everyone gets bored of things at some point, right? Even when you're eating your favorite food, there are moments when it feels a little repetitive, but that doesn't stop you from doing it. The key is consistency. Have you ever bought a piece of clothing you really liked, only to get bored of it after a while? Boredom isn't as terrible as we sometimes think. It's just a natural part of life. It's always going to be there. Think about it, there are things we do every day that are far from exciting, but we do them anyway, like brushing our teeth. It's not glamorous or fun, right? But we do it because it's necessary. The same goes for your daily rituals. The 3 things on your to-do list might not feel exciting at first, but they become part of your routine, the core of how you take care of yourself every day. We need to approach these daily tasks just like brushing our teeth. It may not always feel exciting, but the key is consistency. Imagine how much better your life could be if you made these small, healthy habits a regular part of your day. Doing things that benefit both your mind and body, things that you really care about, can have a huge impact on your overall well-being. The truth is, you're the only one who can choose to take care of yourself in this way. Neglecting those small, important actions? That's like a crime against your own health and happiness. And you never know when life will get too busy or complicated to take care of the basics. So, don't wait for that moment, start today. Now, I know that some of you, especially those with a more disciplined mindset, might hear this and think, this is nothing new. I already know all of this. And you're right, many of these solutions, like eating well, sleeping enough, and exercising, are not groundbreaking or glamorous. They're simple, everyday things. And I'm not trying to make them sound like some magical cure-all, but here's the thing, even though these things are simple, it's possible that many of us have been neglecting them for a long time. And that's what I want to focus on in this video, how even the basics can sometimes be overlooked, even when we know better. So, let's dig into why that happens and how we can turn it around. What's really at the heart of this, the main focus of this video, is neglect. It's all about how neglect can silently slip into our lives, and that's what we need to pay attention to. We all know, deep down, that neglect is behind so many of our problems. Think about it. Where does a misbehaving child come from? It's often the result of neglect. Where does poor health come from? Usually, it's neglecting our bodies, not taking proper care. What about mental exhaustion? It often stems from neglecting our mental well-being. And ignorance? It's a form of neglect, too, neglecting to seek knowledge or ask the right questions. You understand this, right? This is the key point. It's time to get serious about neglect. Take a moment to really think about it and see how neglect plays out in your life. The bottom line is simple: consequences come from neglect, and that's something we need to be aware of. Now, let's raise our sights and focus on the next level. The rewards we get come from the care we give. That's really the gist of it. All the examples I've shared, all the points I've tried to make, are to help you grasp these 2 simple truths, and that's it. I wish you all the best, good health, strength, and the determination to nourish your life. Keep taking care of yourself, and you'll see the sweet fruits of your efforts. Take care, and goodbye for now.